You have a lot of experience writing and producing comic books and comic graphic novels.
Yeah, I'm a lifelong reader of comics, and I've written comics like Punisher and X-Men for Marvel Comics. I've worked for DC and other publishers, and I've worked as the editor of a comic book website for MTV for a couple years. So comics is my life.
All right, so if comics are your life,
yeah.
How does the Edward Snowden story become such an attractive project for someone who is interested in comics?
Well, I mean, he's like the comic book figure, isn't he? He's fascinating and mysterious and bold, and the question really, is he more a superhero or a supervillain?
That obviously raises the issue that with more information that we receive from Edward Snowden, that the storyline that you've created continues. Is this going to be a multi-series event?
I think it has to. It absolutely has to. There's so much we don't know yet, and it's coming out bit by bit, and there's so much to this story.
Tell us a little bit about the research that you took in order to prepare all of the words and the storyline for the comic book.
Well, I started with the primary sources, like, the initial Guardian article and the video, and then went, further and further out till I got to things like message board postings and blog postings, and, just trying to get a full round picture of the man.
Now, as someone that has had to sort of recreate his story, and then there are the accompanying images, do you have a personal sense that you understand what motivated Edward Snowden to do this?
I think I do have a sense, and I think some of it is... But it's so hard to pin down, that's the thing. I think some of it is, about justice and telling the truth, but there's also a lot of stuff under the surface here that I think we just don't know about. And I insinuate a lot, bring up a lot of questions in my book regarding that. Big question mark.
Yes, well, indeed.
Yeah.
And having read the comic book, you don't necessarily draw any specific conclusions, but you create this character. Is it a character based on your writing as a comic book expert? Is this a character that would lend itself, let's say, to a movie as well as a comic book?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I would characterize him almost as like a classic anti-hero. Fascinating, sort of cryptic. Absolutely. Be a great movie character.
A great movie character. Yeah. As part of his role in this revelation, John Kerry, Secretary of State, has come out and said that, well, Snowden can come back to the United States anytime, but he is a fugitive from justice. As far as creating the character in this comic book, do you get the sense that he knew that this would happen after he revealed these secrets, or would he be feted as a hero?
I think he kind of knew that this was going to happen, and I think, like I said, I think there's a bit more to this story, and I think he definitely didn't think he was going to go back to the United States and be just lauded as a hero. And I also think he probably really needs to get out of Russia fast. So
get out of Russia, right?
Yeah.
Well, he tried, but
yeah.
They revoked his passport. What kind of success have you had with the comic book so far?
It's been amazing. It's just the amount of international interest in the book and increase. It's just overwhelming. It's what I've always wanted. Ever since I was reading comics as a kid, to write comics for people to read.